Good morning to all. In reproduction in plants, in this lesson, today's session is last session. Today we are going to discuss about what are the pollinating agents helpful for the pollination, and then process of fertilization in plants and schematic representation of reproduction, then asexual reproduction and its types. Okay. Now, first of all, agents of pollination. First of all, agents of pollination. Do you think what are the agents of pollination here? The agents nothing but the organisms, they can help the pollination process easily. Okay, to do the pollination process, these agents helpful. For example, like birds and insects. Birds and insects helps in pollination process. So, if the bird or insect land in a crop or field, in that area there are so many plants here. In that crop, that plants also having some flowers. Okay, from these flowers, the insects can suck the honey from these flowers. At a time, the pollen grains present inside the anther of the stamen will attaches the body of the insect. If this insect can fly, and it also again land on another plant having flower with stigma, the pollen grains attached to this insect is fall down to the stigma region. In this case, like that, insects helps in pollination process easily. Pollination nothing but the transfer of pollen grains to the stigma of flower. Okay, if the pollen grains transfer from anther of same flower to the stigma of same flower, that is called self. If the pollen grains transfers from anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower, it is called as cross pollination. So, insects and birds especially helpful for cross pollination technique, cross pollination phenomenon. Okay, even though self pollination takes place through birds and insects, but their need is not useful for self pollination. Why? Because here pollen grains present, here stigma present, so there is no need of insects to carry the pollen grains in the same flower. Is it clear? In the same flower, the pollen grain easily fall onto the stigma, but in case of cross pollination only, to the travelling of pollen grains from one place to the other place, these birds and insects play a key role as the agents of pollination. Okay, next thing, process of fertilization. I said that what is fertilization? Yes, it is the fusion of male and female gametes, female gametes What are the male and female gametes here? Here pollen grain having male nucleus, having male nuclei. Why? Because in the pollen grain there are two male nuclei are present. So that's why indicating here nuclei. Nucleus, us is the singular form, nuclei is the plural form. Here female gamete is ovule. Inside the ovule this male nucleus reaches embryo sac. Okay. Now I representing here with the diagram. This is stigma and this is style, ovary. Okay. Children, there is an important point here. Inside the flower, the position where the ovary is situated, this place is called as thalamus. The position at which the ovary is situated in the flower, it is called as thalamus. Okay, on the thalamus ovary is located. Then this is the structure of female gametophyte or the gynoecium, means this is stigma, style and the ovary. Inside the ovary, ovule is present. Inside the ovary, ovule is present. Like that. This is ovule. Okay, this overall it is ovule. This is called as ovule. Inside the ovule, a egg-shaped structure is present. It is called as embryo sac. I mentioned here embryo sac. Okay, inside the embryo sac there are cells are present. Those are these are called as antipodal cells. These the three cells present on upper region are called as antipodals. Okay, this central cell is called as egg cell. This central cell is called as egg cell. Okay, next the neighboring two cells, this cell and this cell is called as synergids. Synergid cells are synergids. Okay, the center region, a cell having two nuclei, this is one nuclei and this is another nuclei, is called as central cell. This is inside the ovule, embryo sac is present. Embryo sacs having 7 cells, that is 1, 2, 3 antipodal cells, 1 central cell, 1 egg cell and 2 synergid cell. Okay, please count 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 2 4, 4 plus 3 overall total 7 cells. Now you should count the how many number of nuclei present inside the cells. Okay, in this cell only one nuclei is present. 1, 2, 3 nuclei here, 4, 5, 6 nuclei up to here. But central cell having how many nuclei? 1 and 2. So 6 plus 2 is 8 nuclei. This is the characteristic feature of flowering plants. Flowering plants. That means flowering plant having which type of gametophyte? Which type of female gametophyte it is? 7-celled 8-nucleus gametophyte or 7-celled 8 nuclei having embryo sac. Okay, is it clear? Now here stamens are present. Okay, at the tip of stamen anther is present. Inside the anther pollen grains are present. Okay, whenever the anther mature, the anther bursts out and releases the pollen grains into the atmosphere. Due to presence of wind, these pollen grains fall on the surface of the stigma. Children, did you observe? Before fertilization, what will take place? Pollination will take place. Okay, after pollination, that means transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma, then after only fertilization takes place. Okay, now pollen grains are present on the surface of the stigma. These pollen grains matures. These are pollen grains matures and forms tube inside into style region. This is style. Okay, in the style region it can produce pollen tube. It is called as pollen tube. That means the tube which is attached to the pollen grain, it is called as pollen tube. Now this pollen tube enlarges and moves towards the embryo sac. Okay, now did you observe it? So many number of pollen grains are fall down on the surface of the stigma, but only one pollen grain germinates. And form a pollen tube and then reaches the embryo sac. Okay, what will happen during the reaching of pollen tube into the embryo sac? Now this pollen tube enlarges. Pollen tube I am representing with red color to avoid confusion. Pollen tube enlarges and moves towards the egg cell Okay, moves towards the egg cell. Okay, this is the pollen tube. Moves towards the egg cell. Inside the pollen tube there are two male nucleus are present. This is one male nucleus. This is second male nucleus inside the pollen tube. Now among these two male nucleus, one male nucleus fuses with the egg cell. This is egg cell, and second male nucleus enters into embryo sac inner side and fuses with the central cell. Okay, one male nucleus fuses with one egg cell. This is egg cell, and this is one male nucleus. Okay, second male nucleus, that means another one male nucleus fuses with central cell. Okay, is it clear to all? Now what will happen after fusion? Here I mentioned fusion of male and female gamete. This is female portion, egg cell is female portion, central cell is the female portion, because inside the ovule these two are present. These male nucleus are coming from male reproductive structure. So here fusion takes place. That's why it is called as fertilization. So one male nucleus fuses with the egg cell, form zygote, okay, and second male nucleus fuses with the central cell, form endosperm, then here one nucleus is present, here one nucleus is present. Zygote having how many sets of nucleus here? 2 sets. That means 2 sets of chromosomes are present. That's why zygote is in which ploidy? N means ploidy. N means ploidy. Okay, it will come in your 10th class. Okay, there you will learn clearly. You just remember here zygote having diploid nature. Di means 2. Di means 2. Okay. So zygote having which ploidy? Diploid. Zygote having diploid nature. So here one male nucleus, here 2 nucleus. 1, 2, 3. Overall 3 sets of chromosomes present. So here I mentioned endosperm having triploid nature. Okay, is it clear, students? Zygote having diploid nature, endosperm having triploid nature. Okay, so I said fusion of male and female gametes is called as fertilization. Here one time of fusion takes place, here second time of fusion takes place. That's why here 2 fertilizations takes place. Then it is called as double fertilization. It is called as double fertilization. It is called as double fertilization. Double fertilization occurred in 2 times. So it is called as double fertilization. Okay. So tell me, what is the fertilized product of flowering plants? What is the first fertilized product of flowering plants? Is zygote. The first fertilized product, the first fertilization product is the zygote. And what is the product resulted after double fertilization is endosperm. First fertilized product is zygote and second fertilized product is endosperm. Okay. Now this is the process of formation of zygote and endosperm. Do you know from which region plant will comes out? Okay, plant will coming from this zygote only. In our body, humans also having zygote. Okay, after fertilization zygote will form. From this zygote only new human being will arises. But in human beings only one fertilization takes place. That is with the one male nucleus and one egg cell form the zygote. But in plants only double fertilization takes place. So why? Because here 2 male nucleus are present and central cell also present. That's why these are also fused together to form endosperm. That's why here double fertilization takes place. Even though double fertilization takes place, zygote is responsible for the formation of new plant. How it is takes place? Okay, I am just showing here. Okay, is it all clear to all? Total number of cells 7 cells, total number of nuclei 8 nuclei. This fertilization is called as double fertilization. What is the ploidy of zygote? 2n. Why it got 2n condition? Because egg cell having 1 nucleus and male nucleus having 1 nucleus. That's why zygote having 2n condition. Endosperm having 3n condition, that is called as triploid nature. Okay, why it is having 3n condition? Because one male nucleus fuses with the 2 two nucleus of the central cell. So 1, 2, 3 overall 3 nucleus are fused together to form a single endosperm. So this endosperm having 3N condition. Okay, 3N condition. This is nothing but process of fertilization. This is nothing but process of fertilization. Okay, before fertilization pollination will occur. Then this zygote develops into embryo. This zygote develops into embryo, and embryo develops into seed. Seed develops into small plant that is called plantlet. This plantlet will develop into mature plant, that is tall plant, complete plant. Okay, this is the process of formation of new plant from zygote to the embryo. Embryo divided into so many cells, and these cells enlarges to form a seed. Seed will divide so many times and form plantlet. Okay, this seed germinates and form a small outgrowth, upper side and lower side. This will form root. This will form stem in the latter days. Okay, so this seed convert into small plantlet and then form true mature plant. This is about process of fertilization in the plants. Okay, this overall reproduction takes place with male and female reproductive structure. So this type of reproduction is called as sexual reproduction. This type of reproduction is called as sexual reproduction. Why? Because two different parents are involved here. Male and female parts are involved here. So it is called as sexual reproduction. Now we are going to discuss about asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction also, okay, new plants will develop, but there is no involvement of sexual structures like male and female. Male and female, that means androecium is belongs to male, gynoecium belongs to female. So sexual reproduction, androecium and gynoecium involve to form a new plant. But in case of asexual reproduction, there is no involvement of these parts. Only parts like vegetative parts like roots, leaves and stems are involved in the formation of new plant. So it is called as asexual reproduction. Okay, now how the roots, stems and leaves involved in the asexual reproduction here. Okay, we will discuss about it. First of all, the roots involved in the asexual reproduction. Okay, roots. Now examples like carrot, beetroot. Okay, next colocasia, then stolons and runners. Sorry, these are stems. Okay, these are roots involved in the asexual reproduction. I said that some storage roots, carrot, beetroot and sweet potato are examples for the storage root modifications. From these storage roots, we have to keep small piece of carrot or small piece of beetroot, cut it and plant in the soil. Okay, by providing this is the soil, by providing needed materials like water and other requirements like chemical, fertilizers, etc. Other requirements. Okay, what will happen from this small pot? A new plant will arises. This is the formation of new plant from roots. This is one type of asexual reproduction. Okay, then stem. Then stem. Stolons, runners, these are the creepers. The plants, they can creep on the ground and below the ground also. Those are called as creepers. Then ginger, turmeric, okay, onion, garlic are the examples for the asexual mode of reproduction through the stem. Okay, stolons are the creepers. This is the soil. Stolons can creep having weak and thin stems. They can creep on the soil like that, and they can move into the underground area, at the region of striking of soil, these stolons come out and form roots and form new plant. From this it will grows as a new plant. This is about stolons, and runners can only move on the ground, and if it strikes the ground, it can form roots and can form new plant here. This is about runners. What is the difference between stolon and runner? Stolons can also grow into the soil. Runners can grow on the surface of the soil. Ginger. Okay, ginger is alum. Okay, it is used as an ingredient in the curries. Okay, it is also a stem modification. This is a underground stem. That means the stem is condensed and stored as a stored food material as the ginger molecule. Okay, structure. This is ginger. Onion is also a stem. It is formed below the soil. This is soil. Below to the soil, onion will form. Above to the soil, aerial stem is present. But here also it is a stem. Below the stem region, there are roots coming out. Okay, here also below to the stem there are roots will coming out. So in this region, if you cut down the portion of this area and placed in a soil having moist content, then what will you observe? After few days, from this region, new onion will comes out. New onion will form. This is about formation of stem modifications and stems from then leaves. What are the examples of leaf having involved in asexual reproduction? Are bryophyllum and begonia. Okay, bryophyllum is a plant having large leaves. Okay, at the edges of leaves, from the edges of leaves, there are small plants will arise, okay, having roots and stem on the above. From these buds, if you cut this bud region and plant in the soil, it grows as a new and complete plant of bryophyllum. This is about asexual reproduction. Okay, stems involved in asexual reproduction, leaves involved in asexual reproduction, roots involved in asexual reproduction. In this lesson we discussed about, okay, sexual reproduction and parts of sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction and types of asexual reproduction. Thank you children.